Welcome to Tasty Pastries by Nick. Today we will be making cinnamon rolls with a cream cheese icing on the top. These take a while to make, so it is important to start these early as you can because we need to allow yeast to rise, which takes time, around an hour. So let's start. First, we are going to microwave 1 cup of milk so that it is warm. Now that the milk is warm, we are going to add a 1/4 ounce package of yeast into the milk. You want to mix the yeast until it dissolves with the milk, and the yeast will help the cinnamon rolls to rise. I am now going to add a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 1/3 cup of softened butter, 1 teaspoon of salt, and I'm also going to use 2 eggs, which should also be at room temperature. I'm now going to mix this mixture well until it is fully combined. This is why it is very important that your butter is at room temperature so it can fully combine. Now I'm going to transfer this egg mixture into a larger bowl. I'm now going to add 4 cups of flour to the egg mixture. And I'm going to mix well. You want to mix this until the mixture is fully combined as one. I'm going to now add the yeast mixture into the flour, and I am going to mix this real quick, and then I'm going to knead it into a dough ball, and then we can start working with this on a floured surface. Make sure you coat your hands in flour before touching it, otherwise it will stick. Knead the mixture into a ball and make sure it is fully combined, and then we are going to let this rise for 1 hour. I'm now going to cover the dough with a little tablecloth, or you could use plastic wrap, and this is to make sure that the yeast stays warm so it can run around and rise. Now I'm going to preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. After an hour or so has passed, you're going to take the cloth off and then work the dough into a little ball. The dough should have risen, and it should have maybe doubled or so in size. And now we are going to place the dough on a lightly floured work surface. And you want to make sure that everything is floured, including your hands, including the rolling pin, everything, because it's very important. And we're just going to go ahead and roll this dough out. And with this dough, it is important that you re-flour everything. Your hands, put it on the top of it, and then flip it, and then put it right here, because if you don't, it will start to stick and then it will tear. And you don't want to go too hard because you don't want to overwork the flour and make it hard. We're gonna roll this until it's about 21 inches long by 16 inches wide. So you can easily measure that with a ruler. So this is what it should look like in the end. You should sort of form it into like a little square. And now we're gonna quickly start working on making the filling for this. For the filling, we're going to go ahead and add 1 cup of brown sugar. And we're going to add 2.5 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. And I'm gonna mix this until it's fully combined. Now we have our dough right here, and we're going to go ahead and add the 1/3 cup softened butter on top of the dough. And this is very important that it's softened, otherwise this will not work out. So you're going to take a spatula, or you can use your hands, and you're just going to spread the butter over the dough evenly. And you just want to move it around until it's fully coating all of the dough. Perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and sprinkle the filling that we made over this, and we're just going to sprinkle it evenly over, and then we're going to go ahead and punch out all the little chunks of brown sugar mixture so that it's not chunky when people get it, when they eat it. Go ahead and use this to just spread it around. We're now going to start from this edge, and we're just going to fold it like this, and then we're just going to start rolling it. And this is going to form the little rolls that you get in the cinnamon roll. So you should have a long little worm like this when you're done. We're now going to cut the worm into little 1 3/4 inch circles. So you can sort of cut off the ends just to like make them look better. So we're just going to cut them into little circles like this. And they should sort of look like this in the middle. See that little cinnamon roll texture? And I'm just going to do this along the whole worm. We're now going to take the little pieces of the cinnamon rolls and place them like this on a ungreased baking sheet. And then we're going to bake them for 10 minutes in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Now that they're placed, we're going to go ahead and put them in the oven and let them cook for 10 minutes. While the cinnamon rolls are in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and make the icing to put on top of them. So I'm going to take 8 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to add 1 cup of powdered sugar, a 1/4 cup of cream cheese, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And we're going to take an electric mixer, and we're going to beat this until it's fully combined on about medium speed. And you want your butter to be at room temperature when you do this. done, we're going to spread them generously with icing. Because we want the icing to melt over it and form a glaze. Now you are done making them. Serve them hot to your friends and family, and they serve as a delicious treat for breakfast or as a yummy dessert.